was once asked how I go about making the podcast, so I thought I'd let you into a little quick look behind the scenes, so to speak, on how I have developed this week's mini-series episode for the Weekly Stoic. So the first thing that I do is I take my Weekly Stoic book. Wait, did I just invent a new book? The Weekly Stoic? No, I meant the Daily Stoic. And I look through it and think, well, what days, what quotes have really meant something to me? What have I been able to connect with? So this week, the quote that I will be speaking about in depth is from February the 1st, and it's for the hot-headed man. And anyone who knows me or has known me in a long time, I'm slightly hot-headed. I can fight fire with fire at times. So that's what that's on. Then I'll get my daily journal, get the words out, the Daily Stoic journal, and I'll revert back to whatever day that was that I'm talking about, and I'll be able then to take the quote from that and the journal entry. And then finally, I'll take the book, The Lives of the Stoic, and I will look through to see which page I'm on that and which character I'm going to bring forward onto the episode, as well as having some production notes just to keep me on track. So hopefully that gives you a little insight. I'll try and do a few more of these as we go throughout the day and look at the production element of it as well. 1.5 hours later, the episode is finally written up. It is all of the main points that I'm going to be speaking about. I do script some of it just to try and keep me on track, because if I didn't do that, I would talk for absolute hours, as last week's episode proved that point. I think I scripted maybe about 2 paragraphs for last week, and it ended up being 26 minutes long. So if I don't do that, I can go forever. It just keeps me on track. So what I'll do is I will quickly show you on the laptop just what it looks like structure-wise. I pretty much just write a story. This is what it looks like on Word. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen Word before, but just to show you that the way that I script it and the way that I write it is pretty much just in a story format. Then when I get to the bottom and my journal article is in there, I can then close off the episode reading from the book, The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. So yep, that's it. And I'll catch up with you once I'm in the middle of recording the audio. So what you see here is my mixing desk. So I've got my mic that's linked up. We have all of our sound and our gains in there. If I tap the mic, you'll see the green gauges on the far side. That tells me what my volume is. The hope is that if I talk into the mic, it doesn't hit the red and doesn't spike out on us, which makes it sound a little bit grainy and stuff. Then I have, obviously, the mic itself with a little pop filter. It's supposed to stop the pop sounds, but I need to upgrade that. But anyway, here's what it looks like. Here's what I use. I use a program called Audacity. And you can see that this recording then was the recording from the 30th of January, which is I think about 30 or 40 seconds long. So you can see that then. What I do is I export that onto a separate platform in order to make the episode. And about roughly 2 hours 45 minutes later, we finally have the finished product, episode 5 of the Weekly Stoic. It is yet unnamed. I haven't thought of a name for it yet, but 2 hours 45 minutes for an episode lasting 23 minutes 31. So hopefully that gave you an insight into the production of an episode, what actually was into it, the thought, the process behind it. I'm going to finish off just by showing you how I produced it in a shortened version of time. I think it took me, something like 30 minutes to format it and get it all together, and then the rest was editing. So I've sped up that video to show you that, to finish off this video with. Like I say, hopefully you enjoyed that, hopefully it gives you some insight, hopefully I can do a lot more of these as well, not just on the Weekly Stoic, but maybe with some behind the scene footage with guests in the future, and you never know where it'll lead. Thanks for watching. One more thing before we go. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for doing so. you can subscribe to our channel below and you'll be kept up to date with any new videos and releases that we put up there, because we're hoping that this will be something that we'll be able to do regularly. Also, if you're not on our socials, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, the Think Curiously podcast. It would be great if you could like and follow that to help us extend our reach, in the hope that we can either attract new guests, but also spread their stories far and wide, in the hope that it will inspire others to share their stories.